Hello everyone, welcome back on the AgriAdventures YouTube channel. Today we have another interview with a local producer here in South Australia. Chris, thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Chris, what's your surname?
Williams.
Williams, oh, finally a surname I can pronounce properly. I generally struggle a lot around with so many different surnames, German, Polish, and I was like, okay, yeah. Chris Williams, perfect. And we are in Ambersun Alpacas.
That's correct.
Right, you have to see that, it's amazing. Okay, so Chris, would you like to tell us a little bit about you?
Both my parents were originally farmers before they got married, so there's always been a little bit of farming in my background. I did my schooling at Urbray, which is an agricultural high school here in South Australia, and at the age of 15 I left home and schooled, and I went down to Naracoorte in the southeast and became a stock agent selling sheep and cattle. So I've always had agricultural interest. I've always enjoyed working with animals. And it wasn't until 1990 when my partner, she was quite a new partner at that point in time, she had found these animals at the Royal Adelaide Show in the children's nursery.
The alpacas, yes.
And so she grabbed me by the hand and took me down to the children's nursery, and we have a Newfoundland dog, they're a very big dog here, and she's always had them, and they always have Newfoundland puppies, so I'm thinking, oh no, here we go, she's going to want to get a puppy. But no, she walked straight past them and down to this corner, and here are these animals I'd never seen before. And this was the alpaca. So this was my first introduction to the alpaca. So this was in September 1990. So I did some exploration, and at that point in time I could buy a pregnant female alpaca for between $12,000 to $14,000, and I'd just gone through divorce and settlement from my first marriage, and I said no. So anyway, that was it. And about 14 months later, 12 to 14 months later, Adrienne was transferred to the Glynn Fire Station. So Adrienne was the first female firefighter of the Metropolitan Fire Service here in South Australia.
Wow.
So there's only 4 people on shift, her and three men, and her station officer on her shift had alpacas. And so that got her all excited again, and I said, okay, if we're gonna do it, let's do it properly. So we went and borrowed $300,000 and spent on 13 alpacas. So they ranged in price between $20,000 and $30,000.
Wow.
And so what you'll see today, and when you visit, is what we've been able to grow and generate from that initial loan. So we now have 1,500 alpacas here on our farm, here at Mountcampus. We are the 3rd largest alpaca herd in the world outside South America. We have herds in Norway, Sweden, Finland and Denmark. We are in the process of setting up Ambersun China and Ambersun Indonesia farms over there as well. So we're not just farming on a smaller scale here, we're very much commercially orientated and looking to continue to expand our operation and teach people how to run an alpaca business all around the world. So when we bought this farm, well, that was in 1992, we got involved, bought our first alpacas. In 1993, we started our own fashion label. 1995, we opened the alpaca shop at Harndorf, which is still open there every day. It only closes on Christmas Day. In 1997, we bought the farm that we have here today, and I've been 100% alpacas since 1997. 2008, we started exporting alpacas around the world. And then over the last 5 years, we've been working with developing the alpaca business in China.
In China. Okay, so you gave me a lot of information. It was interesting because you started from small pack, big alone, I can say, for that time. They were kind of expensive animals, well, for my knowledge. And then now moved on this global scale of alpacas, so training and all these.
Both Adrienne and I love the animals, enjoy the animals. How our business has worked is she's still a lot more hands-on individually with the animals, whereas I've used the alpaca as the nucleus and trying to build other businesses and that are around it.
Yeah, definitely.
Like we're now manufacturing our own range of quilts, like bedding, continental quilts or duvets, and we export them to China.
Oh, wow.
So, people go, oh, that's interesting that you're actually exporting something back.
That is good because it's quality.
Yeah.
Obviously, quality is appreciated all over the planet. So you're working with these products. And what else do you produce with alpacas?
Our main business is selling of livestock, like both domestically and internationally. Same with fleece. Once we shear the alpacas, we can take you down to the shearing shed in a little while. So we sell raw fleece, we manufacture our quilts, and then over the last 8 years, we've been developing the alpaca meat business. Yeah, so we've been developing the alpaca meat business over the last 7 or 8 years, and people initially sort of shy and go, oh, what, how could you eat these animals? The problem is, with the numbers that we have, what do I do with all particularly the boys, that are not good enough to sell as breeding stock? They may be a white with a brown spot, or something else that's not quite right. It may be a female that has a genetic fault, or something's not right, or cannot produce milk. So the alpaca lives for 20 years, and so it's a very long time that I'm perhaps keeping unproductive animals.
Yes, exactly.
Here on the farm. So we looked at the most logical thing was the meat business, and the meat is absolutely beautiful. So this is something else that we can share with the people visiting. Be it an organised meal or just a platter that they can then taste. Hence, the next phase of the development of our business is that we're about to build a tourist complex, which will have a restaurant. Dining out, they'll be actually dining out over the water because we have this beautiful lake here, and then we can showcase all the different aspects of the alpaca meat. Sure, some people won't want to try alpaca meat because they like the animals too much, and we totally accept that. And so there'll be an opportunity on the menu for everyone from vegans and vegetarians through to people that are quite happy to try the alpaca. So
absolutely,
we're wanting to showcase that, to showcase the product. We'll have a shop here on the farm. As well, so that we can expose every facet of the alpaca industry to people once they're visiting.
Alpacas are the animals that they seems quite adapt easily on the Australian environment. I don't see that, are they do they have a big impact? Do they need a lot of water, or they are light in water? No. They are
the alpaca is actually from the camelid family, so it's cousins of the llama, the guanaco, which is the wild version of the llama. The alpaca itself, the vicuña, which is the wild version of the vicuña. As far as water consumption, they only need about 3 litres of water per day, so they don't need a lot. They have soft feet, so they have a soft padded foot, no different really than you and I, and a toenail at the front. So they got 2 toes on each foot, and so their actual impact on the Earth's surface is less than you and I.
Oh, wow!
So per square,
they don't have much impact.
Per square centimetre of impact per body weight is lighter than human.
Wow! So they can go around. They no issue.
And so what you see when you come onto the property is we're very sandy soil here. So we're very wet during winter and quite dry and sandy during the summer. If I had a cloven hoofed animal like cattle or sheep, they would make a mess of it. Whereas I can keep my farm nearly like a lawn, because they're not ripping the grass out of the ground. Their feet is a very low impact on the ground, and we're able to keep our stocking rates quite high. So they're very adaptable, and it was interesting. Only yesterday I had a farmer from Balranald, which is right out in the outback, and he was saying that he farms big numbers of Dorper sheep, but he said they're decimating the country. And I said, come down to the farm. He's going to come back, actually make a special trip back to visit us to see the impact that the alpaca is making purely on the ground.
Exactly.
So I think the alpaca can be very adaptable to a lot of the areas of Australia that have fragile soils.
Yes, and that's the other thing, as I was thinking, is that the behind the scene of sustainability. Because as animals, they require less water, and you can differentiate. You don't need to have a lot of cow production. Yeah. You can have also alpacas, and they can be used in many different ways, and also they are lovely animals. So you were speaking about the fact to come and visit. So what will happen in the future when this project of hospitality, it will be open, or people will come over here and they will have a restaurant, but they will have chances to learn and experience?
Very, very much. We'll be offering an opportunity which we call well, there'll be a few opportunities, but one of them will be a walk and talk. So what happens with a walk and talk is the people, either as individual or groups, they will be able to select their own alpaca from a small group.
Really?
They will get a halter that will teach them how to put the halter on the alpaca properly, and then we'll have a guide that will take them for a walk around the farm and around the lake. And that guide, be it myself or my son or whoever, will then tell them about what Ambersun is about, what Ambersun is doing, what the alpaca industry is doing.
Yes, absolutely.
And anything in between. So we are able to adapt to whatever group. It might be a group of, say, businessmen that want to know, okay, we want to do a tour with Chris. Now, Chris, how are you making money out of alpacas? And we can go that way. It could be a group of girls on a hen's day that just want to, the cutesy,
Exactly, absolutely. Yeah. I'm so looking to see it because I'm imagining myself on the alpaca.
No, you're not riding it. You're not riding
I'm
it.
not riding. Yeah. I'm not riding. Okay, that would be interesting. So I'm gonna, that is a good challenge. I like that. I like that. And we are really close to Adelaide. It takes like half an hour.
We're a little bit more. We're 60 kilometres from the centre of Adelaide. So we're positioned only about 15 kilometres from the McLaren Vale wine district, where 20 kilometres further south is the Southern Ocean, so Victor Harbour, and just a beautiful, beautiful area. And where our farm is situated is in a valley in the top of the range of hills, and so we're generally 6 to 8 degrees cooler than what it is in Adelaide.
Perfect.
And so, during summer, it's very rare that we get a very hot day. However, during winter, it does get cold.
Can be cold. Well, well, I'm from Italy. I have no problem with that. Maybe Australians, they are not used to, but that is okay.
Well, when we build our facility, we'll have a lovely big fire in there anyway. So
perfect.
And then what we're also looking at doing is doing some accommodation around the lake as well.
Awesome.
And so that people can come in and stay purely just to get away from it. They want to have the experience of, getting a cheese platter and a bottle of wine and sitting out amongst 500 alpacas. That's all available for them.
Well, I think that is a really interesting project, and I see that how you like the energy you place in, and the fact that you've been analyzing alpacas on their own and also create all these small spots. It's making it quite interesting to learn more and come to visit, because it's not really far away. When it will be open? Do we have an idea when it will be possible?
Our accommodation will be up and running hopefully by the 1st of September.
Okay.
So that's very much going ahead. Our plans for our facility with the council at the moment, and have had initial approval. So we're hoping that I don't know if I'm being unrealistic to say I'd like to have it open by Christmas, but we're very much moving ahead with it. We see a big opportunity or a big demand for local tourism.
Exactly, absolutely.
And so, we have our property is 1 kilometre of the main Victor Harbour Road frontage, so we have 10,000 cars every day drive past, and we've become a landmark. Oh, you're the big alpaca farm.
Yes.
And so now to actually be able to bring people in and let them share the experience of what we've been developing and what we've been doing here and everything else. So it's very exciting, not just for us, but also for the potential tourism that's going to come onto the property.
Absolutely, and the people around, like you're going to open a lot of workspace for people that's working in the area or living in the area. So it's a great opportunity for the community.
Yeah. We're also negotiating with also a gin distillery to be here. We will also have a wine label represented here, so it's not just the alpaca. So we're hoping to be able to appeal to all people that come through, even having some talks with the possibility of a brewery here as well. So. And then once we get that organised, because we have such a beautiful setting here, we're looking at having different festivals and everything else and that here, so that we can really bring people to the property. And as I said, it's such a beautiful location with the lake and everything. It's
perfect. Wow, I was not expecting that. I actually, yes, lovely, perfect. So Chris, thank you very much for being with us on the AgriAdventures channel and on Radio Italia 1 Adelaide. And For who's following us, you're gonna find Chris and the Ambersun Alpacas definitely on website. We have a website.
We have a website. It needs a lot of updating and so forth, but this is something that's in progress at the moment. But certainly, if they look at Ambersun Alpacas, there is a website there. There's contact details there. My phone number's there that they can get in contact with me directly.
Perfect.
And
also, they can find you. Sorry if I interrupt you on Willanga Farmers Market.
Yes, every Saturday morning I'm at Willanga Farmers Market, which I do a range selling the alpaca meat, which we have a range of about 10 samples, so that you can come along and try. I'm at the Adelaide Farmers Market at the showgrounds every Sunday morning as well.
Wow, so no excuse. No excuse. Okay, thank you people for following us. Thank you, Chris, for being with us.
Thank you.
And see you next interview on the AgriAdventures channel.